Welcome to the Defensive Edge, Volume 2. I recommend you have the material from Volume 1 before we get started in the 2. Good luck. When we go into bicetario, we're going to take it right now. We're both going to work in what we call a fencing grip. All right. When I feed Diana, it's going to be. You're going to have to learn a few of the angles. I've got to bring you through it in order to learn how to do bicetario. Later, you can do any angle you want. You don't need a numbering pattern. But to start with, I'm going to have you go with a forehand slash down, and I just want you to come right back up on the same line. Then I want you to do a forehand slash up, and then come right back down. So you're making an X with the first 4 swings. 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the number 5, it's just a straight thrust. All right? So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, on the number 6, horizontal, think of a stomach slash, and the number 7 is a stomach slash. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now just end with the number 8, and it's a backhand thrust. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the number 8. Okay, now Diana's job, she's going to come in, and when I go, she's going to cross her hands, and then she'll stab, and then she's going to uncross her hands, and then she stabs. So if I put in the angle for her, she's going to pass it, and then she stabs as she crosses her hands. Then she will uncross her hands, and she will stab back. They call this gunting in the Filipino martial arts. It means scissors. All right, so she will pass and stab, and then she will uncross her hand and stab. So real slow, she passes my hand, she slices the arm, and then she feeds it back. So then she uncrosses her arms, and then she feeds the knife back in my stomach. All right, the angle 1, the angle 2, and then she feeds it back. The number 3 is going to cut, she slices the bicep, pulls the arm past, and then she stabs. Okay, now the number 4 comes, she's going to cut, and then the waslick, and then she stabs. Now if you noticed on the 4th angle, it was different. See, she could take it with the gunting. If she does it with the gunting, the problem is she leaves the stomach open where I can get the slice right. So what we have her do is, she's going to slash the arm, and then they call us waslick. And then she's going to throw it, and she's going to stab. The term waslick is a Filipino term. It's like if you had crumbs on your arm, you kind of just flick it off. And this is from the Lameko system. So when we come with the number 4, she waslicks, and then she feeds it back. All right, so let's do this all again. The 1, 2, 3, and then the 4 with the waslick, and then back in. All right, real slow. She's going to pass, and she cuts the arm, and then she feeds the knife back. So then she's going to pressure the arm down, and then she stabs. All right, on the number 3, she pulls it past and stabs. On the number 4, she cuts, waslick, and then she stabs back. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. The number 5 is going to come in. She's going to gunting right there, passes and cuts. Again, the number 5, she passes and cuts. The number 6 is horizontal. You treat it just like you treat the number 2. When you come in with the number 2, she's going to cut, pass the arm, and stab back. Now the number 7 is treated just like the number 3. So we're just going to pass and cut, and she feeds it back. Again, she passes and cuts and feeds back. Okay, so now let's look at all of them together. So the 1, she parries and cuts, and then stabs back. 2, she pressures the knife down, and then she stabs back. 3, pulls it past and stabs. The 4 is with the waslick. She throws it out and stabs back. 5, I thrust in, she guntings and stabs back. 6 is just like the number 2, so she pressures it down, stabs. And then 7 is just like the number 3, she passes and cuts. And then 8 is just like number 4, she cuts, throws it down, and then stabs back. All right, it's best to get some training equipment, just some padded equipment, keep you safe, keep you healthy a little bit. You can use soccer shin guards. They're real good, the kind you use for your shins. You just put them over your forearms, or you can use this product that's from Balicki. This is their forearm protector, and it's made of, I believe it's bamboo inside, and it's hollow, so it absorbs the shock or the pressure. It's really good. If you buy tape 1, you'll see that kind of demonstrated in my first tape. But this is pretty good because your partner can go 100% now, and you don't have to worry about it, or they don't have to worry about your safety as much. Still worry, but not as much. So Diana's going to go. Like I said, it's best to wear protective equipment. You're not always going to have it available, but just, go as hard as you can, or just go as light as you have to go to keep your partner healthy, but it's always best to use protective equipment. Okay, so now when we're going into the second part, she's going to go into a reverse grip. We call it ice pick grip, or else they'll say pakal, where this is, in Filipino terms, they'll call it dungab. All right, so now she's going to cut with her knuckles. All right, so when she slashes, what I mean with her knuckles is I don't want her to cut through me with this end. I want her to face it just like if it were a sword, you'd have the sharp end. Or if it was a single-bladed knife, we put the sharp edge out. Okay, like there's a single-edged blade. All right, so now when she cuts, I am going to swing at the same angle. One, she will pass and stab back, and now she's going to cut and stab back. But if you notice, she's still cutting with the knuckles out. All right, the knuckles are facing up. So she goes 1 and stabs back. 2, stabs back. 3, stabs back. 4, she still does the waslick and stabs back. The 5, she guntings and stabs. The 6, she slashes and stabs. Now 7, pass and stab. And then 8 is just like before, is where she's going to cut up, waslick, and stab back. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 to the waslick, and then she feeds it back. All right, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And she feeds it right back in. Okay, so now, after we feel comfortable with that, then just pick up the pace and go a little faster. So I'll do it a few times a little more at speed for you. You could stick with a numbered pattern if you like, or just free up the angles and you could feed randomly and let them go wherever they want to go. So now we're both going to go into what we call the ice pick grip, and it's going to stay the same for Diana, but now on my side it's going to change a little bit. When I feed the angle, I have to start cutting down 1, and then the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then the 8. All right, so now Diana steps back for a second, you're going to watch. I cut with the knuckle, and then cut up 2, cut up 3, still using it with my knuckles facing out, down with the 4. 5 thrusts straight out, the 6 is horizontal with the stomach, the 7 is horizontal, and the 8 is a backhand thrust again. So again, down, up, down, thrust, slash, slash, backhand thrust. So when Diana comes in, she's going to go 1 and feed it back. 2, she feeds back. 3, see, her job stays the same pretty much. 4, now the 5 cuts in, the 6 horizontal, 7 horizontal, and the 8 cuts. She still waslicks and stabs back. So one more time, slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, when I feed the number 5, I've got to bring my arm in, and then I pump it out. She will slash and then stab back in. It's going to feel a little funny to you because when we come down with the 4, the 5 has got to kind of pump out from here. Where before, if I came down with the 4, the 5 was straight in. But because it's a numbering pattern, we're going to compensate for a little bit. It's going to feel a little weird to you at the start, but just do it a few times, you get used to it. All right, so 1, pass and stab. 2, she pressures down, stabs. 3, pass. Now 4, she waslicks just like before and stab back. Now I come back with the 5, stab. The 6, she stabs. 7, stab. And then 8 pumps out here. She's going to waslick and and then stab. So when she comes in with the 8, she's going to cut up and then watch lick and stab. Okay, so let's go about 50%. Again, 1. So real slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. All right, so each time she guntes, or she crosses and then uncrosses. Okay, so after she feels comfortable with that, now she changes her grip. So now she's going to be back to a fencing grip. I'm staying in the ice pick grip. So now this is going to change it a little bit for her. When she goes, she's going to pick up the angle a little deeper so she won't get cut. Okay, so it's still relatively the same, but if you're on the receiving end of the knife, you'll feel the pressure is a little bit deeper than when I was in the fencing grip. Okay, so in the ice pick grip, I go down 1, she passes and cuts. 2, she still pressures. 3, cut. 4, watch lick. The 5 comes in. The 6, the 7, and then I pump in the 8, watch lick, and then she stabs. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to strip on the number 8. So when she goes, we're going to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on the 8, she's going to strip it. She stabs low once and then stabs high, and the knife will come out. Again, when I feed the 8, Diana is going to slash down. Now this low stab is to get my mind off my grip. And then she's going to come back up, and she's going to pump it in high and stab. So when she's got me, she holds the pad of the thumb. Like I explained on the first video, is you need to hold the pad of the thumb for the strip. Okay, the last time is going to be at speed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then she goes right into the strip. Okay, so now she's going to take it to the number 8 Lacoste that I taught you in the first video. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now on the 8, it rides it over, and then she grabs the pad of the thumb, and she puts her forearm to the flat of my knife. Not to the edge, but to the flat. If my hand is a little curved, she will grab it, and she will position it to the flat. Now she's going to pressure it out. Okay? We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now she rides it over, grabs, and then she jets, and I get it. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ride it over. Eject and stab. Okay, now we're in Balicki. Balicki means to pass. So now this whole drill that we're going to do, it's just a pre-arranged drill. You don't fight this way, but it's a flow drill just to let you feel the energy of the knife and to just learn how to later strip for strip. All right, so Willie and I are going to start. He's going to feed the angle 1 or the forehand slash. I'm going to pick it up just like this, and I'm going to pass it down, check, and hit the kidney. Now, I don't always have to pick it up like this. I can pick it up like this, or I can pick it up like this. So one using the blade itself, or just using the back of the hand. This is like the easiest way I think of. You feel a little more secure when you're first starting with it, to kind of just hook it. So I want you to trap right at the tricep, and then you're going to feed it into the kidney. So again, when he comes in, I'm going to go 1, I trap, and then I feed it into the kidney. Now Willie's not going to want to get hit in the kidney, so what he's going to do is he's going to check me, and then that's his stab right here. All right, so again, it's going to go 1, I hook, trap, and then he's going to come back in. Again, 1, trap, and then he feeds it back. So now with the back of my hand, I'm going to hit right here. All right, so I go 1, I trap, he stops my backhand, and then he feeds it in at my neck. I use the back of my hand, not the forehand. Look at where my thumb sits on the forehand. If I were to go this way and cut up, there's a good chance that I'm going to take my own thumb. So what I do is, I go 1, check, he backhands. Now I'm going to drop the back of my arm and see what it does. It clears it. I'm not going to get cut now. My thumb is far away. All right, so now I'm going to pressure it down. Willie's going to see me coming in. He's going to pass me. So I insert my arm, and then I'm going to pull it out, and then we start the drill over again. So we're just going to go real slow. Pick it up, the trap, he stops it, he feeds it in, I stop it and I cut up. He pulls me down, I'm going to clear my arm, and then we begin again. Okay, now in the second part of this, is instead of him pulling me down and me clearing it, if he pulls it down real fast, I'm going to loop out of it. And then we begin again. So it's going to look like this. Okay. Loop out. All right, now the third one is going to be, he's going to get a grab. I check it off, and then we continue. So if he gets the grab, I check it off. Okay, so now, after you get all three, the wipe, the hook out, and then the grab. Okay, so now I'm going to have Willie switch his grip. He's going to be in the reverse grip, and now we're going to start. It's the same drill, but Willie's going to pick it up now to the backhand. He's got to shoot the backhand either high or low. For now, we'll go high. I cut up, and then it's the same drill again. We're going to leave out all the different grabs. We'll just go with this pull down for now. So now, after Willie starts to feel good with it, I'm going to switch my grip. So now I'm going to be in the fencing grip, and he's going to be in the ice pick. So when he comes in at me, I still pick it up. I'm going to trap and I shoot in. Now he's going to come. This is going to change it. I've got to slash down now. Going up before, like when I was cutting up, it's not going to work in this grip. It'll strip the knife out of my hand. So when we start again, I go 1, I write it down, I trap, I go for the kidney, he stops it. Now when he comes at me, I'm going to slash, and then I put my forehand in it again. Now I move it down, he's going to pass it, I wipe it clean. So you go 1, trap, and I slash down, he's going to wipe it, and then I wipe it. Okay, so now, moving in, he's going to switch his grip. Again, I'm still going to pick him up. 1. So it pretty much stays the same now. Okay, now I have to explain this. What I want you to know is there are times when we're going to violate our own rule, but you have to know when and why. Now I told you after you cut, don't put your hand in this direction because you can cut your thumb. But if I'm in a fencing grip, I'm not in fear of that. What I am in fear of is if Willie twists and he slashes back. All right, so what I'm going to do is my best to use the back of my hand. There are times that you'll see me use this part. It's just, I have to use it. Maybe I'm not in a position to get the back of my hand up there. Or I feel comfortable enough with the angle of what he's coming in that it's not going to twist and get me, so I'll write it out. So you just have to understand when to use this and when not to use this. Okay, so now, what you're going to have to do is you're also going to have to learn this on the left hand. So we're going to go left-handed. So Willie's going to pick me up, and then we're just going to start here. I'll pull him down, and then we'll keep going. So I'm not going to go into all the explanation on this side because it's pretty much the same as going on the right side, but now we're doing it left-handed. But for the next drill coming up, you're going to need to know the left side. So you should do it from all your grips on the left hand. Okay, this section, what we're going to go into, it's called dikit. Dikit means to stick. So actually what we're going to do is when we start to do this drill, once we stick together, or once we stick with the blade, we never lose contact, or we try not to lose contact. Okay, Steve and I are going to start. He's going to come in at me with a forehand ice pick grip. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick it up with the Lacoste number 1 that I taught you in the other tape. So I will peel the knife out, and then Steve's going to take it, but now he's going to go into the Lamego strip, where he twists it over to the opposite arm and pulls it out with the other hand. And then we're just going to keep doing that. I do it now on my right side, and then he brings it back over. I do it on my left side, and then he brings it back over. Okay, so now what this does, it's teaching me how to work equally left-handed and right-handed, and also it's teaching him. If we want to, I can take it over with the number 2 in my drill series, which is the Lamego strip, and then he could take it out with the Lacoste. So now I just switched roles. I'm doing what Steve did, he's doing what I did. So now we could switch it back. I could take it back with the number 1, and then he takes it back with the number 2. So this way both guys are training each side. Okay, we'll float a little bit. Okay, we'll slow it down. I take it out with the number 1, the Lacoste strip. He brings it down, takes it out with the Lamego. And time. Okay, Steve's going to come in now with a forehand slash. I'm going to bring it down just like our number 7 in the Lacoste stripping drills. So again, when he comes, I'm going to write it down, I grab the pad of the thumb, bring it across, I'm going to strip the knife out. Now I'm going to feed the knife back at Steve right here. But he's going to follow it, and he writes it down. He's going to grab the pad of the thumb, and then he's going to strip the knife out. So now, right from here, we just continue with a backhand, back and forth. So he strips it, and then I strip back. So we just write it right like this. Okay, again, time. So now when he comes in, the first angle that he feeds me is the 1. All right, so he feeds the 1 in, I grab it, I strip it, and then he's going to write it back out. Okay, then after that, it's all backhands. So again, he feeds the 1, I write it, grab the pad of the thumb, strip it. He rides it back, grabs the pad of the thumb, and strips it for the backhand back at me. Okay, now we'll just flow with it a little. Okay, and time. So again, last time, I write it down, grab the pad of the thumb, strip it. He's going to write it back, grab the pad of the thumb, and strip it. And then after that, all backhands. And time. That's number 2. Okay, we're going to go into number 3 now. This is the same thing as number 2. The only difference is he's going to give me all forehands instead of going into a backhand drill. So when he comes in with a forehand cut, I write it down just like before, strip it out just like before. He rides it just like before, and he grabs the pad of the thumb, except now he cuts the wrist, and then he feeds me back the number 1. Last time, when it went around, he would take it out and feed back the backhand. But this time when he goes, I want him to cut the wrist, and then give me the 1. This is teaching me how to pick up the number 1 now, and it's teaching him that if he does peel the knife, he does not always have to go for the body. He's got the limb. He's going to take a cut on the arm, or he's going to give me a cut on the arm. So we'll just ride with it a little bit and let you watch. Okay, so real slow. He rides it around, grabs the pad of thumb, cuts, and then I'm going to ride it and strip. He rides it, cuts, and then I ride it, and then I strip. Okay, we're going to go into number 4. Number 4 starts off like number 3, but it's going to change a little bit. Steve's going to come in with the forehand slash. I'm going to ride it. I grab the pad of the thumb. I'm going to strip it out. Now right there, Steve is going to grab it, and if you remember from the last tape, he goes into the parallel cant, he's going to pull out the knife, and then I'm going to pull the knife down, and I'm going to stab the inner thigh. I'm going to bring it up, strip it out, and then he's going to ride it over. So he'll take it out, I go into the parallel cant, he's going to pull it down, stab my thigh, pull it up, strip it, and then it's my turn to take it out. Okay, so 1, pull it down, strip it out. He rides it around, I'm going to pull it out, he's going to pull me down, bring it up, strip out the knife. Okay, so he gets a stop, I pull it down, strip, and then he's going to do the same thing. I pull it out, pull it down, strip out the knife, and then my turn. Okay, let's slow it down again. So he comes at me with the backhand. I ride it over. I grab the thumb. Peel the knife out. He stops it, pulls it out. I write it down. Grab the hand, strip it out. Then he's going to write it back. Okay, and that's it. All right, now we go on to number 5. Number 5 is like 4. We're going to add another piece into it. So Steve's going to come in. He's going to give me the 1. I'm going to write it down, grab the pad of the thumb, and I peel it out. It's going to stop me the same way, except now I add in the number 1 from Lacoste. Now he brings me down, stabs. He's going to pull it out, and then I'm going to write it over onto the other side. So all we did was we just added the number 1 from the Lacoste in there. I just take it out to number 1 and then he feeds it back. Okay, we're going to slow it down now. So when he takes it out, I just do the number one. That was the only new thing that we put in there from the last drill. So it comes out, we do the number one. Pulls it down, and then we get the strip right there. So this is the only new piece right here. Okay, that's it. Okay, now we're going to go into number 6. Number 6 is like 5. Again, we add a little more to it. So Steve's going to come in with the 1. I write it down. I'm going to grab it, strip it out. He's going to stop it with the parallel cant. He's going to strip it out. I go into Lacoste number 1. He's going to pull it down, stabbing me, pulling it out. And instead of going from underneath it, I'm going from on top. I strip it out, and then it begins again on Steve's side. So now I go into the parallel cant. He goes into the number 1. I pull it down and hit his leg, and then he goes on top. So 1, and then 2, 3. So it's been the same as number 5, but except this is where the change is. I just go on top. Okay, just flow with it a little bit. Look at it. Steve, move towards the pole. Okay, now we'll slow down again. Again, the only part that I added into it was, instead of picking it up on the bottom, I grab on top, and then we take it out. So if you took the first tape, and if you looked at it, right now, this is the number 4 in the Lacoste system, when he peels it out. And then we begin again. Okay, and time. That's it. Okay, brings us into the last one. This is number 7. So now when Steve comes in, looks like number 6, but it's going to change a little bit. When I take out the number 1, he's going to go to pull me down, but I resist and I pull back. He's going to strip it out. So when he comes in at me, if he goes to stab me and I pull down, I taught you on the first video to strip it here. Okay, what I want is, we're not going to strip it now. All I want you to do is when you get him to pull back, just strip it out here for now and cut, and then we'll return with the drill. Okay, he brings in the 1. I'm going to write it down. I grab the pad of the thumb. I strip it out. Steve's going to take it in a parallel cant. I take it in number 1. Now when he pulls it down, I pull back, and it strips. Now I'm just going to write it over, and then we begin it on the other side. Okay, now we're going to slow it down. Again, when I go to stab him, I pull back, and then he strips it out, and then he rides it. So when I go down, I pull back, and he strips it, and then we ride it. And okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take all 7 drills, we're going to mix them up and see what comes out of it. So we're just going to free flow it. You might see me do a few strips that I haven't done But if you look at tape 1, we teach those strips within it. So Steve's going to come in, he's going to throw the 1, and we're going to start off real slow, just get our timing together, and then he's going to just start to mix it up. So now we just do anything we want to do. So I'll just flow a little bit and let you watch. And time. Thanks for watching the video.